Hey,
Welcome.
hey, hello from the other side.
Yeah, it worked. I don't know. Technology and me, it's, sometimes this happens, very normal.
It's all good. It's all good. I loving to see you, Diana. Look at you in the polka dots. You polka dotted all up.
That, that, that. Every
You,
sentence ends with this many polka dots. But yes, welcome. No, you should say welcome. I'm like, hello. Your sound disappeared.
oh, okay. You can hear me now. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. And that was the dot, dot, dot. That was
Hey, be very serious, but nah,
that was the dot, dot, dot. Yeah, that was the.
All right.
I, I said you're making a fashion statement. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
thank you.
You're in Iceland right now, Diana?
I'm in Iceland right now. Yes, I just returned from Europe in Switzerland in the mountains playing some concert, and I'm back in Iceland in the winter. But
Oh my gosh, how was it? How was the concert in Switzerland?
no, it was really interesting experience, and I think the many topics that we are gonna talk now are gonna have enough amount of experience, fresh experience to reflect about it because living this new life of balancing things from the inner side to outside and still continuing doing music and stuff, it's a very interesting setting. It's almost like watching a movie or TV episodes on Netflix, except it's in my life in the end.
So you feel like your life is a movie that you're watching? You're getting to see it?
Yeah, many times it feels like that, because characters in the movie have to make choices. And what we are or how we do every second of Pluto second, we have a choice. And now, a little bit later in life, I kind of see that there always is a choice. So that's where the fun always starts, because anyone who is aware of having a choice can make random choices too. So, and then the creation of then the traditional circles of reactions and stuff can be broken, in a way.
So how do you enjoy like the random choices in creation when you find it in relation to like movie making, because you do movie making, you're on movies, you're doing scripts, right? You're taking trips, you have so many facets to you. You wear so many hats, you know?
Yeah. Many people have said this about many hats, but to me, it's all the same. It's like creating a vibration or a rhythm, heartbeats in the same rhythm. Of course, it changes, but I mean, the heartbeat is also a rhythm, and so that's how I see any form of art that I use. The poetry is a written words said with like silences in between, or the language how we talk. The movement in the body is the language, like how much, which shoulder, how many times. So everything is quite easily to put down towards the rhythm. And regarding the scripts, I can share how actually learning to write scripts really, really inspired me to think more about life and to make better choices. Because without good choices for the character, there was no no story. So I decided to, okay, it's not going to be an easy ride, but I'll live a story. So I'm living a story. So I feel like I'm living now, even though it's quite adventurous path to go this, well, like just to make it short, it's a new thing that last year I decided to dedicate a lot of time to my inner world, or like the world that we don't see with our physical eyes, something that we feel and the energy. So I just gave into it finally. Hello, Kieran Stu, and thank you for wishing us a wonderful day.
Hey
Right,
there, shout
right
out to
back.
Karen. So you said you dedicated a lot more time to your inner world instead of going to the external world?
Yeah, and by dedicating, I mean not only, I mean more the actions, you know, because we can dedicate a lot of time to it and thinking about it, which I've done before, and you know, I knew it exists and is there, and all that, and could see many things. My dreams are interesting. It's like it's just been like always very, very present. But then the last year I started actually, you know, like talking to it, making steps instead of sometimes making a physical step or a call to someone or do something like that. I decided to do the work inside, kind of first to clean my thoughts and to be like, you know, in few breaths like that before talking to anyone, or to kind of really try to be in that now moment, or in difficult situations when talking with someone, just like again this breath. And this was a whole game changer. And now I'm flying on some fairy tale dragon and with all the adventures you've seen in the movies, pretty much. I would say so.
I would say so too. You know, like I've never been to Iceland myself, but even when you put up different places in the locations and in the spaces that you've been, it like, oh my gosh, it's like, whoa, you know, it's awesome just for me to see it because I've never been there. So there was even one location you put up that it was like a chi, it was like a qigong, something, a chi monastery or a chi place. You saw a sign that was just on the side of a road and it was snowing everywhere and it looked like a fairy tale. It looked like I was looking at a book, you know? So I was like, wow, this is amazing. So, yeah.
Yeah, Qigong Iceland is very much loved here. There are a lot of people who do energy work and go deep within. I can just say I'm very amazed by so many people owning gongs, you know, the big gongs, and doing gong ceremonies and gong nights, where would you listen to sound all night. Yeah, so it's really nice that just 10 minutes to walk from my home, there is a dedicated place in a small forest. That's a rare thing, a forest in Iceland, a small forest that is especially just meant to do Qigong. I know you can do it anywhere, but it's kind of cute. I just was today there as well, and it's a good space.
That is so cool. That is so cool. So it's not even that far away from you. You can just walk over to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man. Oh man. And there's dedicated people that go there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Is that where you started or were you doing this energy work like a long time back?
Actually, there's this one water movement, the water moving movement. That's this was I was taught this like some maybe 4 years ago, but the energy work, it like a conscious choice, you know, like doing qigongs. It was from December when I found you that you're doing these super super cool qigongs. But before that, it was more of uniting with nature, meditating. Like my the meditation that has gone throughout the years has been the one to breathe the light in the heart, and then you expand the light and change yourself throughout those how many minutes it's happening. So that is where I started in a way, but also the energy has always been there, and I've been this woo Nabia in the house. Hello, just right in time talking about the energy in the nature. So when I was a little kid, we would be outside, playing, or like I would just run in the rain to the boat and row a boat and enjoy this energy, the electricity from the thunderstorm, or I don't know. It was just. And then when I was 7 years old, the forest that was nearby, just where I used to play, was cut down, and I remember running, and I'm like, kind of feel it that it's gone, the forest, because I was running and saying to myself, this is what gave me so much strength or power. But I was a kid, I didn't know anything about it, right? But now, going through all these circles and everything, and whatever happened in life, and being here in Iceland again, between the mountains, and it's a quite clean space in a way. I feel this again, and I understand that that is ultimately what we are. So just to say it, and it makes me smile when people say, we are going to go and connect to the nature. We're going to be united with the nature again. And I'm thinking, when did we stop to be nature? You know, how about we go and connect with what we are? We go and be united with what we are. You know, it's a very big difference, because when we say that, we kind of differentiate ourselves as like, oh yeah, we're the humans. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, man. You are pretty much as nature as every other nature, you know.
Wow, that is a great point that you make there, Diana. You know, making that, like, really just bringing it all together. You know, no separation, no dislocation, just kind of having that connection that's always been there, that's always been, you know, that always was, that always is, you know, now in this now moment. So when you were talking, Diana, and I'm just listening to you as you're describing just the feeling of being energized by the electricity in a thunderstorm, or even when we see you and you're doing Qigong and you're moving next to the crashing waves of the ocean, or you're in what looks to be like a blizzard, right? Like something, this huge ice storm, or is like blowing around you and you feel the wind and everything, and you're just moving effortlessly with it. Like when did you really feel that during childhood? And has it just always been that way that you get energized? Yeah.
Pretty pretty much it has been. Well, my brothers and in family, they always have loved the martial arts. So when I was little, I learned a little bit of that. But also this certain way of concentration. I didn't know as a kid what it means, but later when I was in teenage years, like I just felt like, oh, the crazier the nature, let's go. And kind of this challenge of being the being like this, the peaceful, you know, very, it's just, I don't know, this moment is so natural to me, as if like I have lived many years ago before, like as if I knew. And some moments what I do, I just kind of know them. And when I was trying Qigong, I'm like, oh, I know this. I've been here before. It's a very weird feeling in a way, but I truly enjoy it. When I'm doing these movements, especially especially out in the nature, the crazier the better, I guess, in a way. But let's not over exaggerate, of course. But then I just knew always this is the right thing to do, this is the right moment, and this is the right movement, and there are no thoughts. It's like the whole face gets completely relaxed, and it was very natural, pretty much. Yeah.
Why is the feeling of having been here before, why is that a weird feeling you feel?
Probably because we've been taught to think in a linear time, like that. It starts to happen from A and it ends at Z. But since the time is a concept of the perception, pretty much there are so many ways how to explain it. But I think it is because of this, that it actually is normal to have known something before or experienced something before. And also I have the saying, you don't have to understand to really understand. Because understanding, we need understanding to be able to act in a certain way, right? Because when we understand that this person is doing this or that, or we do this or that, then we are consciously doing our choices. But what if we could do those conscious choices, like by intuition, knowing what is, you know, right, without really feeling it, and not spending the whole time writing every book and every sentence and everything, explaining everything.
So you're saying not everything needs an explanation?
No. And I don't know where humans get this want to understand everything. So Nabiha is saying something. We think we've been here before because we believe in yesterdays. If you think you were here yesterday, then you've been here before. That's a good one.
How does that one resonate with you?
Yes, I feel for it. I feel for it. I've been thinking about time quite a bit. If you think you were here yesterday, then you've been here before. Exactly, because if we think about yesterday, then we spend time in the yesterday, but then the yesterday becomes the now again. And if we think about the future, then the future becomes the now, because you're thinking in this right moment, but it's not the real future. It's like kind of weird. So the past and the future really doesn't exist, but it exists our now perception of the experience that we got or will get. That's at least how far I've gotten into this.
And you talk about the now, like being in the now, you know. What do you feel keeps you in that now?
Um, the now is very connected, at least for me, is very connected with the awareness of that we all are one, or everything is one. The subatomic level, or whatever, the tiniest particles until the biggest particles, and humans being somewhere in the middle of it. And knowing that everything is happening in the same moment, every cell around the world is going into this circle of existence, it just makes sense that you are here and now, like it is happening. It's sometimes I don't even have words really to explain it, but this idea that I got one day, really inside of me, that we are all one, then somehow it just loses the next, and the before loses the importance, because everything is now. I don't know if that makes too much sense, but also the now, or like the now is like, so it's really now. Really no thinking, nothing, you know, because everybody talks about being in the present and stuff, but we could even talk less and just really be in the presence. And because that's where the creation happens. As a musician and writing things, it's very important to be honest to your art. You really have to be in that now. So that's also the practice, of course, that unconsciously I've been doing as creating the music. But that is the freedom, eventually, to be in the now. I know everyone knows. I know you know it very well.
And you know, being a musician, being you, like some people call like a creatrix, like in the matrix, being able to embrace your creativity, you know, and cultivate that, and nourish that and flourish that, and allowing that to blossom and bloom, you know. Do you feel that creativity comes to you, or that it flows through you when you're in that now moment?
I feel like creativity doesn't come or doesn't flow. I think it has always existed through the diversity of the nature. Because if we just look at the nature, I have a flower here, you know, it's like, this is so genius, this form and all the little petals and everything, the creation of it. And the more we observe the nature, the more diverse we become, the more creative we become. So creativity is in the end a perception, and I truly believe that every person on this planet is mega creative, very creative. But just to let them experience these things, to feel these different things, to see the colors, to smell, and then to experience that all at once. Or like when I sing a song, I sometimes also take people through experience. I would start a song, you know, with I know I'm mastering this skill, but it's quite there already, to take through one song so many different emotions. It can be joy, it can be sadness, and it can be anger, it can be melancholy, but to do it through like 4 or 5 minutes, so that the human mind, the monkey mind, cannot follow it so fast and just ends up feeling. And when people are feeling, then they go really deep in the feelings, and they're touched because they feel alive. So that's how creativity is very connected to feeling alive in a way. This is my brain normally.
I love it. I love it, you know. So creativity always is, you know, in every moment by moment. It's not you saying it's not coming from somewhere, it's not flowing to somewhere or growing through somewhere. It's actually just everywhere, all the time, all at once. You know, we're looking at examples of creativity when we're looking in nature. You know, when we're looking at each other, we're looking at examples of creativity, examples of creation. You know, in every vibration. So I love that you see it that way. And you know, how would you encourage somebody who has a different perspective or a different perception? You know, how would you allow them to see that reflection, to be able to have that connection with their own inner and eternal creativity? How would you allow somebody to tap into that or just allow it to be?
That probably would be through experience. And we can allow other people to experience something also through us. So if we are honest and we allow emotions, if we are honest and let the creativity go through, then it automatically affects people. Because when there's a compassion, then somehow as human beings we learn from each other constantly. And this is going to be a very stupid example, but for example, when I'm very, very happy, I do like a little goose dance, which looks very goofy and very funny. And my best friend was mocking me about it for a long time. But then one time, in front of many people, he got very happy and he did the same goose dance, you know? And I was like, you know, it was a very beautiful moment because we get these things exist through us. We are us, we are together. I'm talking to you, this is changing me. All my cells are reproducing with the new information, new conversation in my head. The whole body knows like, wow, you know, it's like, it's completely different. It's happening constantly. So even when we walk on the street, now I'm having a new perception of the city. I just go and I watch every person and I try to smile. No, I'm not smiling all the time, but it's a different way to perceive people on the street that you don't know as experience, that it really changes your life. That person was just on that time, just on that street. You saw the colors, the movement, the vibe, the atmosphere, the energy, so many things impacting. And the people live in the city and pretend like, no, I'm so alone, I don't know anything, I don't see anything. But actually there's so many adventures happening just in two people passing on the street.
I agree. I agree. You know, and you can see so much of that in others. I love that example of the goose dance, Diana. The goose dance, you know, and you transferred that energy. Go ahead. What?
I'll show you later. You're just gonna get it. It's so sticky. It's so good.
It sounds like it's contagious, you know. It's contagious. Like just like laughter. You know, they say laughter is contagious. You know, people can catch it. They can catch your spirit of joy. They can catch your laughter, and it's, you know, it's medicine. It's
It
wonderful
is.
medicine.
I think bad humor will save the world. I'm 100% of it, because from very, very many teachings of also Buddhism or whatever, how spiritually high someone gets or deep, one bad joke, you know, has to work like to be. And if you see that person is laughing, then he really lives in the moment, you know. There is something about that, kind of about this humorous thing. Something that, if it's very, very good enough joke, that doesn't matter who that person is, his brain is working on that joke. And that's magic. It's like a magic trick in a way.
Yes, yes. So making magic together, you know, you're creating magic when you, even when you crack a joke, it still can be magical. I love that. You know, you when I speak to you, Diana, I notice a lot of times you place your hand on your heart. You
Oh,
speak about the, you know, you speak
brain
about the. Go ahead.
no.
You speak about the heart. You know, you talk about the heart, and I even remember you saying, or I saw you saying that your favorite beat is the heartbeat, you know? So what do you feel like that heart, being heart centered, or the heart has impacted you the most in life? You know?
Good topic. It's a very good topic close to my heart. But a friend taught me this meditation of imagining the heart and then following the heart. And at first, I did the meditation in a classical way. But then I also really like, I'm like a nerd for science, and I like all those things. And I know, and I am a massage therapist, so I was studying anatomy, and suddenly it just struck me in those studies that I realized the heart is the muscle that constantly keeps on beating all the time. You know, if you don't exercise your hands, the muscles go down, the brain can go down, many things go down, but heart is like this friend forever. It's like, no matter what you go, man, I'm with you. You know, it's like so much. The heart gives it all to your body. It's like this, like really like a best friend who is always there, like your your guardian angel is your heart. Could also put it in that way. So in the heart, there's this electric impulse, which is electric impulse is very connected to plasma, you know, electricity and all this beautiful magic. And just knowing that that thing happens like all the time, it's if that doesn't connect you to the universe and the the universe and how the creation happened from wherever, like this very beginning of existence, which exists in your heart, then I don't know, have to try something else, of course, but this for me, it's really, it's so there. And also when we talk or when we sing, for me as a musician, it was also really important because I was thinking, what was the first music ever heard in the world? So for the music, it means that someone has to sing and someone has to hear. And then I realized that when we are a baby, we already hear the mother's heartbeat and our heartbeat. So this is the first sound, the first rhythm. We are all born musicians and African drums and everything. It's like, this is the moment of creation, the first music. And then this first music just takes very many forms. But the heart is always there for you. And if some, you know, especially it works really good for someone who's very hurt with the trust, just to say like, hey man, your heart's been there for you, so you can definitely experience the trust. It's a gift, it's a God-given gift. I think it's like you can have this experience without anyone else, so that you heal and you can go and trust again, or you know, give trust.
Wow, that is so profound. That is so, the heart is always there, you know? If if we are just aware that the heart has always been there, the universe exists in your heart. I love this. Someone was saying, Diana, someone told me a while back, they said, you know, someone was telling them like, oh, I don't have any rhythm, you know? Oh, she has rhythm or he has rhythm, but I don't really have rhythm like that. And they asked them, they were like, do you have a heart? They're like, yeah. They're like, you have rhythm, you know. You know, it's always beating, just like you said. It never stops, you know. So thank you for that reminder, you know. Even without our conscious awareness, it is always beating. Yeah.
Exactly. Whatever we do, it is really always there. And Picha writes the internal instrument. That's why we need to dance, dance to it. Yay! With free heart.
You know, you talked about, Diana, with people trusting, you know. Did you ever have issues with trust in your life? Like
Oh,
with
yeah,
trusting yeah?
of course. I have a long life story. Maybe I'll tell a different time, but it's quite a story. And just recently, like coming from the trip, I had quite a challenge with giving trust and not being met there. And I'm like, all right, I understand. New level of challenges. I'm going for it, sure. And then I figured out that trust is in a way also a bit superficial, because of course humans trust each other naturally, but there are different situations when someone is how to explain this now properly, like, what if we define the trust? It means that you talk with someone and someone promises and does it. Even if this person doesn't do it, it doesn't mean that it meant he breaks the trust, because we don't see the inner world of other person completely. We don't know. There are always reasons, you know. And so therefore I have no problems to trust people now, because I do my best, and if it works, it's just great. If it doesn't work, then it's like a nice territory for exercise and finding out and understanding. So in the end, it still works. So it works always in a way. And people are just very funny human beings about this trust thing and making up stories or whatever. I find it entertaining in a way, and very new. Everything that I took so seriously when being younger or a teenager, I see that it has not been the main thing at all to concentrate on. So I just don't think in those terms anymore. I just think, again, like, can put my hand on heart. I'm thinking really through heart, because it is this continuously beating thing and this perfect trust, that if you do it through the heart, it will always work. Doesn't matter how it looks like, but it will always work. So there's no need to worry about trust when you do things to the heart. So I'm just trying to connect more and more to this and relive life in new. So I feel like universe is giving me new situations to just like, all right, here's like, let's try this now, apply. Are you ready for this? Like, all right, let's try. It's very hard, but okay, whew, it worked, you know. It's like step by step, relearning, reprogramming the life to just think through the heart all the time.
Wow. So when you think through the heart, when you do through the heart, when you act through the heart, it always works. It
Yeah,
always works out.
100%. Always. It's like a guaranteed, you know. God, like there's a human created, and there's like on the heart, there's engraved guaranteed. The brain can go mad, anything, but heart, poof, guaranteed, you know.
Guaranteed, without exception. You know, when you when you were talking about having that perception of things that you thought were serious, you know, back in the days, or when you were younger, I remember there was a quote by Oscar Wilde that said something to the effect of, "Life is too important to be taken seriously." You know, and what do you feel like was one of the things that you were really serious about back then that you finally were able to shed and let go?
Mm, oh, so many actually. Well, so many concepts really. Like I would say now probably the accomplishments of life, like to be someone. That has always been. You know, musicians work for their goals, release CDs and blah blah and all these things, but it's very easy to get caught up in this illusion that it's not that I always imagine stone falling on my head per se. It's not a nice imagination, but you know, people very worry about health and everything, and but how about worrying not to live in the moment, right? Because what if really it does happen? And I've seen many things, and I've actually lost a lot of people around me. So I know that, and it's very diverse ages. So I know that life is a fragile thing in a way. Not even how much we try to be our best and everything, the best you can really be as much as you can. This precious moment of now, and to experience what you can experience through that moment. So it still creeps on me when I do some projects, because it's so much involved with other people and their plans, and so I'm a little bit of a weirdo now in this scene, at least I feel like it. How I even approach concerts now, or music writing and everything. It's very interesting life at the moment, but it works. This idea really helped to it. Actually, it's funny because it works the other way, of not trying to be someone and really achieve something all the time. I am more in my heart, I feel for more people, I get more inspiration, and I write more songs. You see, like it's the other way around. It's like you have to let go first to really get it somehow. You have to give the space for the magic to come and happen. Although I sound very super smart, it was not an easy week, but I still feel like, yeah, the heart was always right, and I will believe in it till the last. It will never be the last, but it's there. The awareness is created there, so I'm staying here forever. Boom, boom.
I love it. So that's the best place to start. You know, is within the heart. You know, we're never apart. I love it. I love it. You know, one thing that I heard you say, Diana, that I feel is so important for people to know, and it's basically what you were saying. It gives me the feeling that instead of worrying about dying, worry more about not living. You know, why aren't you like not living should be more important than dying? You know, because they say that some people, they actually die at 25 and are buried at 75. You know, like they might not have been living between those time periods. Like they stopped living somewhere down the line. We stopped living. We stopped giving. You know. So thank you for that reminder. Like enjoy life in the moment instead of worrying about when it's over. You know? Yeah. Thank you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, isn't it, right? And then all the tools that we have, and then go deeper, but eventually, no, it doesn't matter how deep we go, you know. I think it doesn't matter how enlightened everyone becomes. It will always boil down to that one thing, to be in the moment. Pretty much. So it's like you cannot go around it. And the more to spend that time in there, the more it's like, but it doesn't mean that we become like a salmon in the air, you know, flop, flop, flop. It's not doesn't mean that life flops us around and we're like not aware of what's happening. It's more like to act from the present moment. Of course, the knowledge is there, and it's important to understand some things and be compassionate and know what hurts someone or not. That's different thing. But be in the heart in the present moment, like I said, the heart will always show the intuition of what to say or what to do. And because these concepts that we live in society, I don't think it's very created by heart. It doesn't feel like really. So I think that's why it's good to remind of that. And my music mission became completely different and completely more important. I really feel music way more now. It's not a hobby or some goal to achieve. I really feel like, ooh, it's a language I know, and I can talk to people. And I want to remind them, hey man, just hang on in there. You can do it. You know, you're good, you're loved. It's okay. You don't understand yourself. Be in the moment. Just get for a moment in the moment. Listen to the song. You know, so this is my big prayer to the world in a way. How to get as many people to be just for a tiny moment. It can be a stupid joke. It can be a song. It can be a movie. It can be a dance. Tiny many moments makes a big moment. Tiny moment every day makes bigger moments together. So that's my big faith, or I don't know, big drive in a way to just to connect with people in the moment and with everyone, not no difference with pretty much nothing.
You said that, and that is beautiful, by the way. Beautiful when you said that. So your music mission has changed, you know. So now it feels like one of empowerment. You're empowering others, whereas before, what was it before?
Well, it was like a traditional way, of course, you know, to just show myself, express myself, make people like songs, you know. We were pressed from some. I used to have a band, and then people would say, you should write more happy songs, and you should do this, and you should do that, and it's all about the money. And I somehow never felt like that. I was complete rebel, and a lot of people didn't like that. And now I'm so glad that I have kept it. this idea, and now I understand the form of it and the reason of it and the energy behind it, and I really can go even more or even stronger, or I don't know, write scripts or dance. Dance is also really great, like anything that really works, just to work for it, for this type of mission. So what I did before was also not bad, and it was nice. There was very deep thought and everything, all of that, but I didn't realize the power of music yet, the vibration, and how humans connect, and also just how real this connection is between humans, and that there is no illusion. Then I'm just bowing to the chance to have been able to be able to sing, to be able to play. I'm just very, very thankful. So I'm not stopping it for sure. I'm going to continue in different ways, whatever that moment calls for, whichever tool is necessary, or poetry, or whichever language makes the bridge. I want to learn that language, I guess.
Yeah. And, you know, just being in that form of empowerment as well, because like you said before, some people, they saw you more as a rebel during that time when you were doing things differently with your music. What do you feel was the thing that you were rebelling against the most?
I didn't like the idea that you have to create a song to be selling for the masses, then the masses likes this, just because it would mean to not be connected to your intuition. And I'm not saying that it's not possible to write that type of song that reaches a lot of people, but just this idea of consuming music is not the same idea I have for music. For me, music is the experience. Like, you know, it's when the audience listens to your song, and then they feel something, they are co-creating in the moment. They're actively in there. But if you make something that just makes people like follow like zombies and just get them in a certain vibe all the time, then it's more like they are consumers of something. It's more like drug. It's more like to suppress a feeling rather than express it. So I guess now it's first time I put it in words like that, but that's how I feel, at least. So that part, and in the music production industry, I don't have a popular opinion really. So I don't know how this game is gonna go, but recently I talked with a musician friend, and we had very opposite versions of things. And there was an opinion of all the producers being mean, and big companies and everything, and this world, and blah blah blah. And I said, but hey, we can create the same too. I said, then go teach young musicians, go teach young people, create the circle around you. Don't then be the producer, you know, then become that thing. So I believe that we can all create these worlds around, and even though it doesn't matter how big this goes, but this is the idea of I am also making a film company. I want my creative friends to come together and actually create for something good. Of course, it's good to know your craft. I'm not saying anything about that, but and the more groups of people are going to be around the world like that, with any topic, the health, the music, the arts, the I don't know, whatever is the strengths of that person, just to create this from the heart, and really, that's pretty much a big power there in the hands. Like us talking now, I don't know who's watching my live, but I'm just trying to inspire, pretty much, like because this is also what worked. Like, positivity and creation is a million times stronger than living in the concept and destructivity. That's how I see it. Love is the superb power, and you cannot win it, pretty much. It will always come through some person wanting to do good to someone and to connect. This is, however, it just superpower, pretty much. Not for one human, but in general, existing in this form.
I agree. I agree. It's a superpower, you know? We have it. We all have it within us. And I love what you said. You know, it's almost like being the change you wish to see in the world, you know? If you don't see it, then be it, you know? Be it until you see it. You know, be it until you create it more like it around you and just allow that energy. You know, it's interesting because I love what you're talking about, Diana, when it comes to co-creation. Instead of just consumption, instead of just putting out your creation to be consumed, you put it out for others to share in that energy, you know, for others to co-create, for others to collaborate, to join in on that energy that you're expressing through that medium with your music. Because you've done the same with me, with Nabiha here, you know, like you've even had music where you made us a part of it. You know, you got bits and pieces and you put them together, like you fit them together, and it made just this beautiful melody, this beautiful harmony with us. And I was like, wow, how did she do that? You know, I was like, I was in awe. That was amazing. That was awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I was not overthinking really. It's been a long time since I wanted to do more of meditational music, and I'll work now. I'm not so afraid of mistakes or production missing something. I'm not super pro of the world, but I do have this feeling, and I'm looking forward to what's gonna come up now. What's gonna come up more? I want to introduce whale music. I know many people have used whale sound because humming sound is a sound that goes through the stone. You know, if you hum through the surface, then the sound vibrates, or if you hum in the water, like so I want to dedicate that some music towards that. I've been recording a lot of birds. Oh, you send me birds, I'll use those as well. And it's a beautiful. In that terms, I'm so especially happy that to do it in my own way somehow.
So thank you, you know, thank you for embracing your uniqueness. Thank you for choosing to go against the norm, you know, choosing to do something that is not always done by everyone else, choosing to think something that not always thought by everyone else, and choosing to just be the energy, you know, until you see the energy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, do you just ask questions, or I also ask questions?
I'm just, you know, I just been enjoying this moment with you. This was our very first live together. This was our very first time on here with each other. We've seen each other, you know, but this is our first like dialogue that we had together. So I really enjoyed it. You know, I look forward to more. I hope this is not the last time we hear of your voice like this.
No, and I have some good ideas, but I'm ready. The podcast idea to interview people like you do, for new ideas and to how we can live in a better world in a way. More how to connect more and share it. So that's coming, and like make a separate light journey profile to see myself as well. You know, to document a little bit what I'm doing in the shadows, because not many people know I'm doing qigongs and stuff. I'd go to concert in a dress and then go outside and like do some movements. They'll be like, "All right."
Right, right. You know, that's one of the things that's impressed me. You know, like I said in the beginning when we talked about you wear so many hats. And I know you see it differently, but it's like what you said you've been a hostess, a bartender, a musician, a performer, a scripter, an actor, a producer, you know, like a qigong master, you know, like all of these different hats that you wear, but you wear it so elegantly, you know, so elegantly. So thank you. Thank you for showing that you can be multifaceted, you can be multidimensional and not just one dimensional. And to appreciate that within yourself.
Yeah, thank you. I really feel this good. I really like what you guys do. So it was just so inevitable to follow. And I have a sci-fi film that I'm working on, which is also inspired by pranic movement. So can't wait to get to do that. But I say the same thanks to, and also I don't know who was watching the live. It was very interesting to experience this, but let's keep on doing these shared moments. I'm so thankful to gotten to meet you guys and you, yeah, with Qigongs. It was life changing, very life. I suggest. I know. Yeah, it made me, it's like you lived your life longer time, and then suddenly to meet a similar reflection of ideas or like intention just really was like, wow, it exists. So thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun.
Likewise, likewise. We'll do it again. And take care.
Much love, Jerome. Much love.
Bye bye.